Good morning, class. Hope you all are well and studying well in this situation. Okay. So, as we were discussing about as yesterday we have started our new chapter, struggle for freedom. Okay. Wait a moment. So here yesterday we have started our third term portion. Okay, struggle for freedom. Most of the topics we have studied, no, uh, not most of the topics, at least we have started. Okay, so here now you just turn on page number 108. Okay, turn on page number 108. As you all are knowing that you can see that this chapter is very lengthy, it will take too much time, so some of the topic I am going to skip. Okay, only reading matter is there, you can read and you can understand it easily. But after reading the topics, if you are having any problem, then you can ask to me directly by the messages or by the phone call. Understood? Okay. So here our next topic is given on page number 108, Surat session of 1907. Okay. Surat session of 1907. From here we are going to start. Okay. Surat session of 1907. Okay, so it is saying that at the Surat session of 1907, under the presidency of Rash Bihari Ghosh, the moderate restarted the attainment of self-government within the British Empire and through constitutional method of their goal. Understood? The radicals, you are knowing, no? There were two parts of the Congress, radicals and what? Moderate. Okay. So the radicals under the leadership of Arvindo Ghosh reformed their belief in Swaraj and advocated boycott Swadeshi and boycott to achieve their goal. Swaraj for them means complete independence. Swaraj for them means complete independence, means Purna Swaraj. Okay, from whom? From the British rule. English schools and colleges too were boycotted. Understood? English school and colleges all were also boycotted, and special national institution came up to train Indian youth morally and physically. Okay. Okay. The Swadeshi movement slowly became a mass movement which engulfed the entire Indian population, including women and children. Okay. And here, the partition of Bengal briefly brought the early nationalists and the assertive nationalists together. Understood? We have studied about the partition of Bengal yesterday. So that partition means the partition of Bengal briefly brought the early nationalists. Partition of Bengal briefly brought the early nationalists and the assertive nationalists together. Okay. The early nationalists supported that the the radical method of political agitation, political vacuum, Swadeshi and boycott, okay, to protest against the British of Bengal. Okay. However, the unity between the two groups was short-lived. Okay. The unity between these two groups, between whom? Between moderate and between the radicals. Okay. Between the radicals was short-lived. Cracks between the two wings of the Congress began to appear in the course of the movement against the partition. And the early nationalists and their assertive counterparts failed to agree on various aspects. Okay. And various aspects of the Swadeshi and boycott movement. And in 1907, at the Surat session of the Congress, in 1907, at the Surat session of the Congress, the early nationalist leaders expelled the assertive nationalist leaders from the Congress, and the latter continued to function as a separate group till 1916. In the meantime, the British crushed the Swadeshi movement, and Tilak was sentenced to 6 years of imprisonment. Okay, so that was the Surat session. Surat session. Okay, now come on page number 109. And formation of the Muslim League. This actually, beta, I am teaching most of important things. I am teaching. Okay, whatever is important for your knowledge, that much only I am teaching over here. Okay, so here formation of the Muslim League. This Muslim League is very important. Okay, so see here, during the revolt of 1857, the Hindus and the Muslims had fought shoulder to shoulder. Understood? During the revolt of 1857, as you are very aware with this topic, okay? So during the revolt of 1857, you all have studied very well during the offline classes, okay? So during the revolt of 1857, the Hindus and the Muslims had fought shoulder to shoulders, means together. Okay, the British had held the Muslims responsible for the revolt and had committed great atrocities on them. On the other hand, they treated the Hindus with favor. This marked the beginning of the divide and rule policy introduced by the British to check the growth of unity and nationalist feeling in the unity. Okay, so the campaign to emphasize that all were Indians, irrespective of caste, religion, language, and gender, remained incomplete. Different communities formed political parties to put forward demands as they fought fit to the British. One such political organization was the Muslim League. A delegation headed by Aga Khan and the Nawab of Dhaka approached the Victory Lord Minto in Shimla. Okay, so briefly explanation I am giving again here for Muslim League. The Muslim League, it was established in December 1906. Muslim League was established in December. Okay, this Muslim League established in (1906). Okay, Muslim League was established in December 1906 under the leadership of Nawab Salimullah Khan in Dhaka, now known as the Dhaka. Understood? Aga Khan and others also joined this Muslim League. Muhammad Ali Jinnah joined the Muslim League in 1913. Muhammad Ali Jinnah, he also joined this Muslim League in 1913. The main objective of the Muslim League, the main aims of this Muslim League were known as the to promote among the Muslim a feeling of loyalty. Understood? To promote among the Muslims what? A feeling of loyalty. Understanding? No, this word loyalty means understanding. No, okay. To promote these feelings. Okay, which feelings? Loyalty. Okay, towards the British government. Understood? And to protect and promote the political right of the Muslim. The second theme, second objective of this league was to protect and promote the political rights of the Muslim. And next was to prevent feelings of hostility towards other communities. Understanding? Hostilities means possibilities. To prevent the feelings of hostilities. To prevent the feelings of hostilities towards other communities. Understood? Other community means what? Different religion, communities, sampradaya means Hindu, Muslim and all. Understood? Okay. And the league served as a political form. This Muslim League served as a political form for upper class Muslim. Understanding? This league served as a political platform for upper class Muslims. Okay. It supported the partition of Bengal. The league demanded special safeguards for Muslim in government service. In 1906, it appealed to the victory for separate electorates, and this meant that the Muslim voters would elect Muslim representatives. Okay. And the introduction of separate electrodes sounded the death knell of national unity. It was the first definite step on the road of the partition of India. On the road of the partition of India. Okay. So now here the home next movement is the Home Rule Movement. Page number 110. Home Rule Movement, or you can say that Home Rule League. Home Rule League. Okay. Home Rule Movement or Home Rule League. Home Rule League. Okay. So here the Indian national leaders decided that they would support the British government. Understood? The Indian national leaders decided that they would support the British government with main and money, provided the government allowed the establishment of the self-government. They started an agitation for the introduction of self-government or home rule. Tilak formed the Home Rule League on his return from exile in Burma, now Myanmar, in 1914. Another prominent member, important member of the Home Rule League was an Irish lady, Annie Besant, who had come to India in 1893 and had become the leader of the Theosophical Society, as you have studied in chapter 7. It was a result of her effort that the moderate and the radicals were reunited in 1916. Okay. Two home rule leagues were formed. Understood? There were two home rule leagues. Okay. They were formed in 1916. Okay. Two home rule leagues were formed in when? Two home rule leagues were formed in 1916, and one under the leadership of Tilak, Bal Gangadhar Tilak. One home rule league was formed under the leadership of whom? Of Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and other under the leadership of Annie Besant. Understanding? Two home rule league was formed in 1916. One formed under the leadership of Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and another one formed under the leadership of Annie Besant. Together, these two home rules, together they spread the home rule movement to different part of country. Understood? And what was their main motto? Their main motto was, the main aim, or you can say that motto, the main aim was of this home rule league was to achieve self-government. Understanding? To achieve self-government within the British Empire after the war. What was the main aim of this home rule league? To achieve their own government, to achieve their own self-government within the British Empire after the war. Tilak and Annie Besant traveled all over India, spreading the message of freedom and self-rule. The movement became very popular. Okay. After that, this Lucknow Pact, 1960, page number 111. In the First World War, Britain and Turkey, okay, were fighting on opposite side. On opposite side. Since the Sultan of Turkey was also the head of the Islamic world, and the Muslims were annoyed by the British attitude towards Turkey, this brought the Muslim closer to the Congress. Closer to the Congress. The annual session of the League, the annual session of the League and Congress were held at Lucknow in 1916, and a pact was signed. Okay. The moderate and the radicals were also united here. The pact allowed separate representation of the Muslim in the council, and this removed the fear of the Muslim League that the Hindus would dominate the council form through elections, and that the Muslim interest would suffer. The coming together of the Congress and the Muslim League strengthened the nationalist movement. Understood? So it is saying that another important development, another important development during the war. Understood? Another important development during the war was the change in the attitude. Which attitude? Attitude towards the Indians. Attitudes towards the Indians. Okay. Attitudes toward the Muslims towards the British government. Understanding? Here, the pro-British attitude of the Indian Muslim became anti-British, and large section of the educated Muslims, understood, the huge section of the educated Muslims began to support the nationalist movement. Understanding? The nationalist Muslim like the Ali brothers, Maulana Muhammad Ali and Shankar Ali and Maulana Abul Kalam Azad spread nationalism, not nationalist, nationalism. Okay, among whom? Nationalism among whom? Among the Muslims. According to them, the changed attitudes of the Indian Muslim brought the League and the Congress close to one another, and the growing unity between them led to the signing of the Lucknow Pact in 1960. The Lucknow Pact was an agreement signed by the Muslim League and the Congress to pave the way for a joint scheme of political reforms in India. Okay. In the last, the unity between the Muslim League and the Congress on the one hand, an early nationalist and the assertive nationalists on the other arose great political enthusiasm and strengthened the national movement. Under the Lucknow Pact, the League jointly with the Congress held a joint meeting for the first time since the Surat split in 1907. Understood till here? So that's all for today's topic. Tomorrow we will discuss about Jallianwala Bagh incident, and one more important topic is there, Chauri Chaura, okay, non-cooperation movement. These 3-4 points are more we will discuss on tomorrow. Okay, so you will read you will read page number 108, 9, 10 and 11. Understood? And if you are getting any difficulty, then you can ask during the doubt clear session. Okay, that's all for today's live session. Thank you.